Hello everyone. When I started my channel some time back, my main objective was to reach out to the youngsters, the students in the final year or the penultimate year of their courses, where placements become a major concern, and also to the people who are junior executives, be it engineering, management, or general courses, who are working but maybe not more than 2, 3 years, 4 years. So they still need guidance on how to appear for interviews, how to do well in the job selection processes. So I am mainly working with the youngsters at the moment, but in future I will go for seniors. My today's session is a bit different. Although the objective remains same, that is career coaching and advising students on how to get better placements and how to make themselves more employable, how to appear for the interviews, the group discussions on various topics, technical questions, communication, soft skills and everything. But my address is to a broader target audience today. I want to reach out to the colleges, the institutions, the universities, where placements is a very big factor. Because today, apart from acquiring knowledge, students, especially in a developing nation like India, with a huge middle class, they actually come to study, especially higher studies, that is college and universities. The major objective is to get a livelihood, so get into a job or start a business or any kind of good career which they can earn money and take it back to their own lives and families. So I'm sure that every college, every institution, every university today puts a lot of strategic focus on the placement function. I have worked for more than 2 decades in various institutions across India, and my major passion as well as my skill was in developing the placement factor, liaising with the placement team, talking to the students, talking to faculty colleagues, to the management. And throughout these last 2 decades, I have learned a lot, which I want to share with you today. And this is a continuous journey. And the area which I want to focus on today is alumni relations. Now, placement is a huge ocean. There are so many factors, so many activities. But the students who have passed out from the institution, they go into the industry, they start working, they reach top levels of management, they become successful. Some of them go to research, some of them go to marketing, production, operations, HR, finance, and so many other fields. And many of them actually build their own organization. They have their own startups which really become big. Some of them join their family business. So the entire vast network of alumni pool is a very big strength for any institution. And every institution has a very strong alumni network. They should develop it. They ideally should have a very good engagement with the alumni. I myself am part of the alumni of my school as well as my college. And in my college, I am part of the alumni governing body. So throughout many years, I have worked with the college students who are very, very junior to me, but from the same college. And while doing that, I have identified many factors which, if you can really utilize and leverage, not only placement but the overall career management and development of the institute becomes very, very smooth. And that's great branding also for the institute. So I will take the factor one by one. Now, broadly speaking, every institution has a training and placement cell. So there is a person who is heading that cell, who might be a professor or might be a professional manager, and he or she might have a team with them. And apart from that, most of the colleges, as the culture goes, has a student team to support them, which we call the placement council or the placement cell or the TNP cell. Now, these students are chosen from the courses, the various students who are studying, out of which they select some students who are communicative, who are of course very good students. They know about the subject. They also know about their own college, who can represent it to the outside, market, the industry. So this is how a normal structure works. Now this part all of you know. So now I am coming to how this engagement should be broader. Now it cannot be as basic as, whenever placement season starts, you go to the companies, you make a database of alumni members who are passed out from your college, where they are working. Some of them may be in HR, some of them may be involved in recruitment, some may not be. So you reach out to them and you request them that, sir or madam, can you come back to your own college, and if you can recruit some students from our current batches, or if you can give them some internships, or if you can, give them some light projects, if you can organize some industry visits. So this is how the normal thing works. But this cannot be a one-time transactional activity. What I want to highlight today and what I think many institutions miss out is that alumni relations and alumni engagement should be an year-long activity, and it should be imbibed in the culture. Now I will come to step by step how you continue, and I know many institutions are doing this. Many great institutions are doing this because I have been involved with many of them. However, this message is to all these institutions who may not be able to do it, especially we have many colleges which are in remote locations, maybe in rural areas or semi-urban areas where connectivity might be a problem. So even then, today there is a digital world, so we can have online sessions. So I will come back to one by one how we organize this alumni engagement as a year-long activity. Now to start with, whenever a new batch is joining in, the orientation program, I'm sure every institution have their own culture of orientation, where students come in, they are inducted into the course, they are spoken of how the college culture is, how the syllabus, the exam pattern, the system, sports, extracurricular, co-curricular, all these things they are oriented to that. In this particular orientation activity, which happens generally from 1 day to 5 to 6 days, you should have a very planned slot for alumni address. So if you have a registered recognized alumni association, you should engage them. Otherwise, you should yourself contact the alumni members from the industry and try to choose those brands where the most opportune placements happen. If in your college the main recruiter is say Infosys or say Wipro, or if you find say Tata, or if you say the Ambanis, the Reliance Group, or maybe say Larsen and Toubro, or Ashok Leyland, or anyone like that. So if you are having these brands and you can find out some alumni members who are working there, better so if they are involved in recruitment, but otherwise also in senior level, call them in. Let them come and address the new joinees. Now there are two things. First of all, they give technical inputs that you are studying this course, it might be MBA, it might be BBA or BSc or engineering. So they tell them that study these subjects, prepare yourself this way. Also they talk about what kind of students they are looking for. So in day one, this is not the placement team, the orientation is for the newcomers. Day one, they give some inputs. Now the students who are just joining the course, they are fresh, they may not be able to understand and absorb everything. But while they are attending, the other senior students are also observing, teachers are also noting down. So they get first-hand inputs of how the alumni members are expecting, because they are in senior levels now, for the new joinees, what they are expecting from them. There is another very big benefit. It creates a lot of inspiration, a lot of, aspiration among the new students, the new incumbents. Now think of a student who has, passed the JEE exam and come into IIT, or maybe pass the CAT exam, got a very good percentile and come into a business school. Now they are looking at a person who is standing in front of them, 10 years, 15 years senior to them, or maybe more than that, who has reached a very big level, and they become the instant role models. So this creates a lot of motivation, a lot of positivity. The alumni on the other hand feels very good to be called back to the campus, respected, given a pedestal where they can share that, because everyone wants to share. It's a big self-actualization that when I have achieved something in my life and I can come back to my college and share with my juniors my entire, humongous experience which I have. So these two-way benefits happen. And after the event is over, you can, of course, share the numbers if they are agreeing. You can add them on LinkedIn. You can be in touch with whatever they are doing in the industry. So a beginning of a very healthy relationship happens. And during this course of, if that alumni member or the alumni members spend few hours in the campus, they should have interaction at every level. They can meet the HODs, they can meet the placement head, they can even meet the other students, the senior students, and they have a direct interaction. So it is not that you are just asking for placements, you are requesting, sir, you please come, and I don't think they ask for remuneration. If you have a practice, there might be a remuneration. Generally it is not there. What is there is that you give them a small memento, a bouquet, the basic culture. So this way the engagement happens. Next point which I want to say, and see, I am not even talking of placements here, I am talking of academics and administration, because placement is mainly integrated to this. Next is that when you are benchmarking your syllabus, of course the board or the university have a set syllabus, But when you're designing the course curriculum, what kind of case studies to bring in, what kind of workshop activities to bring in, what kind of live projects to bring in, you can always engage these people. You can make a committee and you can involve alumni association members or alumni members. For example, like in your every subject there is some internal marks, and for that assignments are given. So if these assignments can be industry oriented, now you all know that National Education Policy 2020, they are highlighting that experiential learning a lot. So they are talking about giving students some live projects, go and interact with the industry, do some survey, take customer feedback, so try to create a prototype. Now if I look at IT, there are so many apps are there. So if you can build your own app, so for that you understand what is the need in the market. So if you have an industry mentor for every live project, for even every class project, if you can make it a live project, if you can, be in touch with the industry and take their inputs, and they will help you. They'll help you to collect data, they'll help you to pilot your project. They might even be involved in presentations. You can call them in for this. So this way, throughout the entire academic curriculum, try to involve the alumni members. Every time it may not be possible, but you please keep on trying. Some of them might be available, especially people who have some extra time, who are now at a level where they can actually allocate their own time. If you are a remote college, if there is no local industry, you can always do these things online. So this engagement continues. This will help you when you in future go back to ask them for an internship. They already know you. They already have understood you. So they might themselves offer you a project. And when you do an internship over there, there's a big chance of getting a pre-placement offer. Because the relationship is becoming more, long-term, very transformational, not really transactional. So this is something I want to highlight. And then I want to make a small mention over here. All the colleges have student events. And during student events, the students have a concern of getting sponsorship and funding from the companies. So when you have this kind of an ongoing relationship with a vast alumni, be it locally, nationally, or globally, when you already have an ongoing relationship, it will become very easy for you to approach them for some kind of funding. Suppose you are having an entrepreneurship cell activity and you want a sponsor. So you can reach out to the startup founders who are really doing well. You can make them judges. If you're having a HR symposium, you can go and call the recruiters who are your alumni members, and they can bring in their colleagues and their friends from the industry, so they can become judges. So the engagement is very multifaceted. A 360-degree alignment is happening. So this is another point I want to tell you. This is another about the alumni. So any small event you are having, be it a Teachers' Day celebration, be it a Foundation Day celebration, be it a sports day or some academic conference or some kind of a internship presentation. So any kind of activity, because nowadays classes and academics is moving out of the classroom. So in these cases, you should always have alumni members. You should have all kinds of corporates. But why I'm highlighting alumni in this session is there is always a entry point for you. You already have a foot on the door. Because you go to any corporate and you talk to them, many colleges approach them. So this is regular for them. So you may or may not get a directly good response. You really follow up. But for an alumni member, that emotional angle comes up that, you are coming from my college, immediately you feel at home. So although you are going to a professional person and deal professionally, but you should also have that emotional, connect, and they will feel really good to come back. So this is another point I wanted to make. Then when you are preparing for your placements, when you have these corporate connects and guest lectures, you should always call your alumni members to come and give some lectures, share their experiences. Some of them, many top corporates now part-time become professors of practice. And this is another term which NEP is talking about. So you have your regular professors, but you can have guest lectures and seminars from these industry practitioners. That is another very important aspect. And during placements also, like you can involve them to network with the other recruiters also. So, this relationship should be leveraged very well. And even after placements or during the placement process, some students get selected, some don't get selected. You can always take the feedback. So I know what I'm talking today is mainly for the professors and the teachers and the placement managers, but even senior level, because if you look at the very, very top premium institutes, be it the IITs or the IIMs or NITs and that kind of top level institutes, the placement activity is entirely managed by students. Students who are in the final year or the second year or the third year, that is the penultimate year, I would like to tell you, don't consider yourself kids. You are not children. You are now going for placement. I tell in my every session that when a company is coming to recruit you from your campus, they are not looking for a child. You might be a fresher, you might be new, but they're looking for a colleague, a professional. So when you are going for your placement interview, or even if you're going with your prospectus or placement brochure to a company, and you're representing the brand. So how you walk, how you talk, how you communicate, how you behave, this creates an image about your own institution. So you should also take the responsibility, and teachers will be there to guide you. Last, and a cautionary note, because I told you the entire session about networking with alumni, creating alumni engagement, leveraging alumni relations for betterment of the college, don't take it for granted that this gentleman or lady has passed out from my college, so he is from my own family. Yes, they are. But they might have not come back to college for 10, 15 years. So you cannot take them for granted and expect that. So you treat them professionally, give the respect, and then the emotional angle will come in. So they will like to. I hope I could explain this, and I will bring more such sessions for you. This session I made in English, so I'm very soon going to come with the Bengali and the Hindi version. And my channel is there. In the comment section, I will share my mail ID. You can always network with me. I go to a lot of institutions for lecturing on these topics. I work with a lot of colleges on this kind of activities. So if you want to partner with me more, please get back to me, write to me. It will always be I'll be really happy to do that. And last but not the least, I want to make this channel big. It is a voluntary initiative on my part. And so please subscribe if you're feeling nice, and if you can please like these videos and share it with your friends and to the other colleges. It will be helpful to all of us. So thank you so much. Good day.